Hello, welcome to my channel djthomasedu-world.net. I am Deepak Jacob Thomas. Today's session will be detailing on Excel formulas that count. What is the Excel formulas that count? The most commonly used Excel tools are count functions. These functions define the purpose of counting cells based on different criteria. Furthermore, I have categorized the Excel formulas of count into 7 different categories, starting from count A, count, count blanks, count if, count if s, decount and decount A. Here we can get the real-time application of counting by using different methods of count so that we can shorten our time in counting our objectives. Let's see in Excel how it is individually described. Moving on to the count function. What does the count function does? The count functions counts the total number of cells that contains numbers and the number of list of an argument. That means it only will consider the numbers and does not consider any text. Let's see in Excel worksheet how it is done. I have a data entered here. Now I will just click on active cell B8 and go with the formula equals counts. Click on count. It asks the value 1. Select the range, say B2 to A7, close the bracket and give enter. Now what happens? It has given the count as 3. As previously explained, although there are 4 entities, but one is in a text and the rest of 3 are in numericals. That's why the count function has only referred the numbers rather than the text and given the value 3. This is how the count function works. Moving on to next Excel formula of count is count A. What exactly the count A function serves the purpose? Here the count A counts the total number of cells with numbers as well as words. That's the major difference. Let's see in Excel how it is done. Here I have entered a few values here. Now I'll click on active cell B8 and type equals count A, COUNT and A. Select count A. It asks the value which you want, so select the range, say from B2 to B7 and close the bracket and give enter. Now what it has done is that it has given the number as 4. That means if the table column contains either words in text or numbers, it will count and give the value. That is the major difference of count A. This is how count A function works. Moving on to the next function of count is count blanks. What this count blank does? The count blank counts the number of empty cells in the range of data. Let's move on to Excel spreadsheet. I will use the formula count blanks equals count blank. Select the data range, that is from B2 to B6, close the bracket and give enter. Here the empty cell is only one cell in the range. That means from this range of B2 to B6, the empty cell found is only 1. That's how the 1 is defined and counted. for empty cell. This is how a count blank function works. Moving on to next count formula is count if. What does the count if function does? The count if function is used for a single criteria of counting formulas taking two arguments. Let's see how it is done in an Excel. Now I have a data entered of column A consists of vehicle details at a rent-a-car dealership and the number of vehicles of column B at vehicles at yard. Now I will give a condition wherein I want to know or give the count of vehicles in the list which is above a given criteria. For that I give the formula equals count if now select the range. The range I will be selecting is from B2 to B7, comma. Now what is the criteria I need to give? Say I will give a value greater than 100 and close inverted commas and give enter. Now with count if, it has chosen a single criteria, that is number of vehicles at yard greater than 100. How much is the quantity from this data range? It is clearly defined that greater than 100 there are two. One is 200 and 300. That's how the value 2 has been updated with use of count if formula. Further on I can use count if to give a difference of value also, equals count if select the range, say I will enter a value. I'll open the inverted comma and enter 100. That means I need the first condition of 100 minus count if select the range, again B3 to B8, comma, and enter the value 200. That means I had defined the condition as count the value of 100, what is the sum comes, and count the value with 200 and give the difference. Just enter, it gives the value 3. That means with 100 it has value of 4 and with value of 200 it has only one quantity. That means 4 minus 1 is 3. That's how 3 is being displayed with help of countif function. This is how a countif function works. Let's move on to next. Excel formula of count is count if s. What does the count if s function does? The count if s function accepts any number of fixed arguments. That means it can take not only one argument, it can take more than one argument to count a given criteria. Let's see how the countifs function works in Excel. Here I have a data sheet. Enter SIM, vehicles details of rent a car dealership, and number of vehicles at yard. I will use the count formula equals countifs, COUNT ifs. Now it asks the criteria range 1. I select the range from B3 to B8, comma, first criteria is what? I will define, open the inverted comma, I will tell I want the values greater than 100, close the inverted commas, comma, and the criteria range 2. This will be my criteria range 2, again from B3 to B8, comma, what is the second criteria? See, I need the value greater than 200. Open the inverted comma and again now close the inverted comma and close the bracket and give enter. Now it has given the value as 1. That means the greater than 100 and greater than 200, the value, how many values are there? That means which is greater than 100 and greater than 200. We have only one value, that is 300. That's why the count is given as 1. This is how a countif function works. Further, moving on to next Excel formula of count is the dcount. What does this dcount does? Dcount function returns the number of cells in a column or a database that contains numerical value to meet a given criteria. Please note it only is applicable for a numerical value, that is dcount. Let's see how it is done in Excel. I have an Excel spreadsheet. Now I'll use the decount formula for a column A, column B and column C. I have data entered for vehicles details at rent-a-car dealership. Second is the number of vehicles at the yard, and third is the vehicles with rental sale orders. Now furthermore, I have a criteria, sub-criteria, wherein the main criteria or the data range, the headings is copied. Here my objective is to find a vehicle naming Subaru Legacy where the vehicle sales with rental order greater than 100. What is the count? Equals d count. What it is asking for the database. Select the database, that is from active cell A2 to C9, comma, the field. What field you want? Say the field here refers to the subheadings. We can either type subheadings by opening inverted comma and type the whole value, or else just give the position of the subheading with the column. Say column A is position 1, 2 and 3. See, I need column C to get the vehicle with rental sales order. So since it is in third column, I enter 3. Again comma, and what criteria I want. Select the active cells A12 to C13 and close the bracket and give enter. Here we get a count of 3, that is Subaru Legacy has a vehicle with rental sales order greater than 100 is 3. Here whereas Subaru Legacy vehicle is there, see it is greater than 100, this is also greater than 100 and this is also greater than 100. For better viewing, I'll just highlight it. Now this is how a decount function works, but as I told, it is only for numerical values. But let's see what is the impact if I choose a text. In the place of 3, I will just give a comma and I will choose the column A as 1. Let's see what values pops up. Oh, it comes with a 0. That means it does not work with a text. It only works with a database with numbers. So I enter again 3 and I get the count of this category of car, that is Subaru Legacy, with vehicle rent sale order above 100 is 3. The count is defined as 3. This is how a decount works. Further moving on to the next Excel formula of count is decount A. What does this decount A does and how it is differ from the word decount? Here the decount A function will count numbers as well as text for a given field. That means it overcomes the disadvantage of decount function. Let's see how the decount A function works in Excel spreadsheet. Here I have a Excel spreadsheet as detailed. This is my database and this is my criteria range. Here also I will just define that I need to find the vehicle with rental sales order greater than 100. What is the count from the database? I'll just use the formula D count COUNT and A. Click on decount A. It asks what is the database you want to choose. So just choose the database that is from active cell A2 to active cell C3, comma, the field what you want. Say I will choose again 3 since the detail of vehicle with rental sales order is in column 3, so the position is in column 3, so I enter 3, comma, the field criteria. Here also I will enter the field criteria, that is from active cell A12 to C3, and I will enter. Now it gives the value 3, but since the criteria for vehicle rental order greater than 100 for Subaru Legacy, by choosing the position, that is the field 3, and the field 3 has all in numerical value, it's okay. Let's see whether this condition works for text also. I'll just delete the tree and I will choose the column A. Since majority of the value is in text, I'll enter 1 and give enter. Yes, it does works. Here also it identifies the vehicle with Subaru Legacy and the vehicle with retail sales order greater than 100 is been defined as 3 by choosing either text or numbers. This is how decount A works. This completes the Excel formula of count. Hope you like the videos. Kindly subscribe for more videos by choosing the subscribe button. Till then, signing off, Deepak Jacob Thomas.